Alright guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So the Jets' second padded practice at training camp just wrapped up, but I gotta be honest with you, my head is like spinning right now. Juan Soto just got traded to the Padres in a crazy deal, and then a little after that, Adam Schefter goes out and reports that the Dolphins are actually getting stripped of their first round pick in 2023, and I believe their third round pick in, 2024 here, okay, for violating the integrity of the game. And the Dolphins owner Stephen Ross is also suspended through October 17th and fined $1.5 million. Okay, so a lot happening here. But when we take a look at the Jets practice in and of itself, we have some really good news. George Fant's back. Okay, he was back at practice at left tackle. Now, I don't think he was out there the entire practice or anything like that, but to hear that he's on his way back, everything is looking good, everything is trending upwards with George Fant, that is a really positive sign. You know, it's been day after day, practice after practice, where the defensive line is just winning the day, right? Guys like Solomon Thomas, Carl Lawson, Bryce Huff, Quinn Williams, the list goes on, Sheldon Rankins, Tim Ward, Jacob Martin. These guys are getting home. These guys are busting through the offensive line and getting after the quarterback. Of course, we've only experienced two padded practices here. So we do have to kind of take it with a grain of salt. But with that said, the defensive line is just, continuing to win. Every single day the defensive line wins and they're getting after the quarterback. Okay, so to have George Fant back is a big deal. And, if Becton and Fant could just stay healthy, the tackle position is... The potential for this offensive line is incredible. I will sit here and say that. Laken Tomlinson is one of the best guards in football. Connor McGovern projecting really well into next year. And then AVT, one of the best rookies from last year, transitioning over to right guard. If Fant and Becton, if they are out there on the field, they are, 110% health-wise, I'm super excited. But with that said, I still want to acquire that backup third swing tackle. We can look at a bunch of different guys here. Eric Fisher, maybe in the mix. Darrell Williams as well. Brandon Shell, maybe a possible reunion there. But to see George Fant is back, great sign. Okay, so next up is wide receiver Elijah Moore here. He's continuing to turn heads. Really encouraging. He's coming off the best practice of training camp so far yesterday, and now to stack that up with today's practice where he had, again, multiple catches, it's great to hear. Okay, especially because fans are also in the stands, just makes it that much better, so everybody can kind of experience it. And Elijah Moore is projected to do numbers this season. Some people are actually thinking he could go over, 1,000, 1,100, 1,200 receiving yards, multiple touchdowns here, be a vital cog in the Mike LaFleur Jets offense. Does Moore have the potential to do that? The answer is yes, right? You saw back end of last season, he did a lot of really good things. The separation was there, hurting teams over the middle of the field, intermediate passing game. Joe Flacco supposedly hit him on a really nice play today. And how awesome would it be if Moore continues to grow, continues to develop at the wide receiver position, and turns into a top 10, top 15 guy in the NFL? Is that realistic? I would say yes, it is. Now, from everything that I've seen and heard so far, it seems like Zach Wilson is having one of the better days at training camp, okay? Distributing the football, Garrett Wilson, Corey Davis, Braxton Berrios, who else? Elijah Moore. Wilson so far through training camp has been up and down, but that's kind of what I expected. We talked a little bit about this yesterday, where I'm not really thinking he is going to step out on the practice field and just go, 10 of 11 with 3 touchdown passes. I just don't really... Wilson going into year 2, still a really young guy, still getting used to the new faces, to the young faces all over the place. I was kind of expecting a touchdown pass there, an INT over here. A really amazing throw like we saw yesterday, like the BYU Pro Day throw, and then maybe an errant throw after that. So I'm expecting the Jets to work out the kinks. This is why the team is practicing. This is why training camp is a thing. Let's kind of iron everything out, get everything out on the table, and learn as we go, right? So the Jets and Zach Wilson specifically aren't making the same mistakes over and over again, especially if that's starting to trickle into the regular season, okay? So Zach Wilson's, again, supposedly had one of the better days of practice. Okay, so next up is a guy that I feel like needs to be talked about. It's defensive end Carl Lawson here. Rich Cimini actually pointed out that Lawson looks like his old self. And what do we know Lawson's old self to be? Explosive, tenacious, violent, aggressive, angry, right? At this point last year, he was destroying what the Jets had to offer on the offensive line. I felt like every practice it was 2 sacks. Carl Lawson had another 2 sacks today. Following day, 2 sacks, 2 sacks. It was crazy, right? Even the Green Bay Packer joint practice, Carl Lawson was lighting up the Packers offensive line up until the point where he got hurt. Okay, so when we look back at Lawson's career with Cincinnati, this was a guy that consistently got in the backfield, had a ton of quarterback hits. So he would win one-on-ones against the tackles, but it was just finishing. It was, quarterbacks finding the open guy right before Carl Lawson would get there. It was a lot. If we take a look at just the sack number, it could be a little deceiving, because if we take a look at Lawson's, again, quarterback hits, he was sitting right at the top of the league in 2020. At 25 years old, by the way, 32 quarterback hits. To kind of put it in perspective, another young star pass rusher on the move at that point in time was Yannick Ngakoue. And I remember, it seemed like Yannick was, sorry about the thunder and lightning, by the way. It seemed like Yannick was almost valued higher than a Carl Lawson because of those sack numbers. But if we took a look at the quarterback hits, and I get that it's a different stat, in and of itself, but it's still an important factor. If we take Lawson's number at 32 in 2020, and we take Yannick Ngakoue's year in 2020 and 2019, you add both of those quarterback hit stats up together, they still don't equal 32. Okay, so what does that tell you? Lawson has potential. He has gotten in the backfield before, and he could be a star. If he just gets home with the sacks, he could be one of the better edge rushers in all of football. That's why the Jets, that's why Joe Douglas specifically went out and signed him to that multi-year deal. So if he's healthy and he looks like his former self, the Jets are in a great position on the defensive line moving forward. So those were some of the main takeaways from today's practice. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. If you happen to go, let me know how it was. I've never been to a training camp before, even being down in Florida, like never once went to a Dolphins one or Jaguars or Bucks or anything like that. And I've always wanted to. So, because people always have like these great stories, meeting players, meeting coaches, getting autographs, pictures. Like, it's just like so much fun. So if you happen to go today, let me know, and let me know how it went. It's freaking awesome, man. I'm so happy football is back. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. And as always, go Jets.